5-pound bag of spinach. I thought it was a 5, yeah, it weighs 5 pounds. Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I love spinach, and I hate the thought of having to go to waste. And I guess I could blanch some and put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
I really like it fresh, so I'm trying to eat it. It's so good.
Steamed spinach.
The tape recorder is on. You ready?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it homemade vinegar?
Another day.
When I was 7 years old.
Wow.
No.
That's the best way to eat it. Oh, I love it. Just lightly steamed, just so it's.
Yeah, I haven't eaten yet. I'm hungry.
Oh, I made a walnut spinach sauce.
Spinach, that's hard to believe.
I'd say when I was 7 years old.
And we'll be first. Is council all set?
Yep.
You all grew?
Stopped me before.
You all set? 7 o'clock, I'd like to bring this meeting to order. Would you please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilor Garrison?
Present.
Councilor Bickford? Councilor Ward?
Here.
Councilor Pesky?
Here.
Councilor La Rochelle?
Here.
Councilor Mason?
Here.
And Councilor Lunt?
Here.
Just aim it towards your,
If you're actually taking aim it towards you, or actually stop. There you go.
thank you.
Perfect. I love it when the plan comes together. Next item, please.
Is the public hearings? There are none, so we begin with audience participation. At this time, those in the audience who wish to address the council may come forward to address items or issues that are on the agenda for this meeting. Please use the microphone at the lectern and state your name and address for the record.
I'll open audience participation.
Debbie Berry, Lisbon Falls, Maine. My understanding is in the workshop on item number 13, there'll be discussions regarding the charter. I would personally request that my town councilor, he and her both, would consider putting forth like a dictionary, a common use words and their meanings to ensure that there's no ambiguity regarding a town member asking a town councilor, what does this mean? Thank you.
Anybody else for audience participation? Seeing none, we'll close. Next item, please, Twyla.
Audience participation response.
Actually, no response tonight. Next item.
Consent agenda. Any counselor wishing to have an item removed may do so now. Order 2013-162 to approve the minutes of October 1, 2013.
I'll make that
Anything-
motion.
Any second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Order passed, 7-0.
Next item, please.
There are no council orders, resolutions, or ordinances. There would be other business. Finance Director's report.
Hello. So before you have my finance report for the month of September. To summarize the revenues for you, September brought in $189,392. State revenue sharing is 22.6% collected at $129,000. Last year, we were at $201,000 at this point. We were 24.5% collected on our budget of state revenue sharing last year at this point. Our 4-year average collection rate at this point is 23.8%, so we are falling further behind in our typical collection percentage, which, given the situation with the state, we knew was going to be happening anyway. So not surprising to see, but just keeping you apprised of where we stand. Excise tax is 27.1% collected with $327,000 compared to prior year at only at $341,000. So we're a little slightly lower, but right within the ballpark. Our 4-year average collection rate at this point for excise tax is 26.5, so we're actually above our collection rate. In September, we also received a tree growth installment of $13,000. And the transfer station has taken in the majority of the revenues that they will receive from permits at $18,000 year-to-date, which is under what we've budgeted by about $10,000. We usually budget around $28,000. We will see that discrepancy come down over the next couple months as people still filter in to get permits, but the bulk of what they would have received, because they expire at the end of August, should have already been received. So we may see some shortfalls with the permits. And that is all I have for revenues, unless you have some questions for me.
Any questions of council? I have one question. On the revenue sharing, the numbers that you see, the 570, and now is that adjusted to what we believe will be our, I guess our percentage, have they been adjusted from what we know we're going to be as a loss for revenue sharing this year? So when we're looking at a 28 or 30 or 50% collected, we're basing that on the new numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that, it's based on what we expect and what the state is projecting that we should receive.
Which we hope, yeah.
Yeah, so theoretically, you would expect your collection percentages based on those amounts to be the same, which is why I bring up that we're a little bit lower from a percentage collected.
Standpoint, yeah.
But September is usually a very light month for revenue sharing. I think over the last 4 years, it's been between, excluding this year, it's been between 15,000 and 27,000. So we're not that far below the mark at only 12 for the month, but it's something to watch, just because from a percentage standpoint, we are falling a
Lower.
little bit further and further than where we have been for collection of revenue sharing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions on revenue,
I've
Mark?
got a question on public safety dispatch revenue. When do we expect that they'll pay up from the other towns for the dispatch revenue? Is that paid
We
in
sh-
quarterly, or? how do
We
they do
should
that?
see I recorded some payments in October, so you should see some monies offsetting that in October.
Okay.
What about the animal control officers for Bowdoin and Durham? Do we know when we'll get that payment?
Yeah, they usually make 2 payments, first half and a final installment at the end of the year. So typically January timeframe at the latest, you would see the first installment.
Thank you.
Some of them pay half automatically, so it filters in at different points, but usually by halfway through the year, we will invoice if we haven't already received from them. And then at the end of the year, we give them a final invoice based on what the actual expenses of the department were.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Moving on to expenses, the total expenditures for the month of September were $449,543. This is $254,467 less than what we expended last year by this time, which was $704,000 thereabouts. Our personnel costs for September of this year equated to $335,000, or 74% of the balance, or total expenditures. And this is versus $337,000 that we had last year. So our personnel costs have not fluctuated year over year. And that includes wages and benefits. And given the rising costs of insurance and benefits, I think this consistency speaks to how slim we've become with staffing to control the costs, to
Very
have those
difficult.
costs equalized year over year with insurance increase and, the benefit increases. Contractual services made up approximately 31% at $141,000. We were at $155,000 last year. This is primarily due, the 141 is primarily due to the payment of our general liability insurance, which was $63,000. And we had waste disposal fees of around $26,000. We made a payment for assessing services of $10,000, and we had abatements of $12,000. As far as expenses go, to offset the expenses, we have also received a net $132,000 between grant money and bond reimbursement money from the state. So that reduced some of our expenses. That's my report for expenses. To update you on tax collection, we committed taxes on September 4th, as I implied last month, and bills were mailed out September 6th. As of September 30th, we have collected 88.6%, or $4.6 million of our total tax commitment. Last year, at this time, we were 93% collected, so we're approximately 4.3% below our standard collection at this point in the year. I will note, however, that interest was waived through October 5th, so I fully expect that number to come back in line, and it has through, the end of October, but just to give you a equalizing point of September to September. And that's what I have, unless you have questions for me.
I do have two quick questions. For abatements, do you foresee many more of those coming?
That would be a great question for assessing.
Okay. But I don't know if you had any insight of, see a lot more coming in because
I wouldn't, I only get the sheets to
Okay.
record the,
I have one more. I just got to find it. Someone else can go while I find it. No one? All right. Town engineer contractual services. I was wondering if you knew what that was, the 5964 for percentage.
I'm looking, hold on.
It's 03300, 5200.
Oh, the 59%?
Yeah, I just wondered if you knew what that cost was for contractual services.
Yep, hold on one second. Did you ask me that last?
I did.
You did. I apologize. Seeing that reminded me. We did have professional services in the amount of 8,600, and I was going to get back to you. I apologize. I didn't. I will make sure to send you the response when I get back to my desk, because I still can't tell you exactly what that is off the top of my head. Sorry.
No problem.
I believe part of that, I mean, I may be mistaken, but part of that is part of our water runoff, wastewater runoff stuff that needed to be done this year. Some of the engineering, not engineering, but planning of that.
Yeah, I'm
And-
not sure we
yeah.
paid that bill yet. I don't think
Yeah.
we have.
It doesn't sound familiar to me,
No,
but
no.
I will certainly send you, and I apologize that I didn't. I just
Would we
was
have run
swamped with
the,
the audit and wrap up, so.
Would have been current?
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I'll send all of you an email to let you know what it is.
Thanks.
Sorry.
No problem.
Just a question as far as tax, I mean, the overall concern about the late bills, that seem to be working okay. I mean, I know they're fielding some phone calls, but all in all, it seemed to work out,
All in all, we
made it work.
we made it work and trucked through it. So but for the most part, to be only 4.3% less than where we were last year, really not a big deal. The majority of the properties seem to be escrowed, so the money's coming in regardless.
Just a matter of them processing. Yep.
Yep, and that took a little bit, so.
Yeah. Well, good.
But yeah, that, you'll see that come almost back up completely for October, so.
October.
Should be good.
Perfect. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Town managers report.
We have a groundbreaking for the trail. If you haven't got an email on that yet, it's October 22nd. It's at 11 o'clock. If you could attend, that would be great. We should have a pretty good turnout. Some of the people from ABCOG who have been part of this project initially plan on coming. There'll be people from DOT. It'd be great to have any businesses who would like to come out and celebrate this last leg that was planned. It's a great project, and everybody will be there.
Just to ask you a question before you move on that one. Where's the groundbreaking going to be?
It's at the Sabatis River Boat Landing.
It's at the boat landing.
It's at the boat landing.
So that's good.
That's where they wanted to, that's where it starts, and
That's where they're going to do. Good. I
we're
was
going
just
to ask
curious.
everybody to go under the bridge, and it'll be a good day, good start. What else? That's all I really have. Been visiting businesses and Night Celotex, just, they're making progress. They've got one more load of steel to haul out of there. And I heard today that they're coming in with heavy equipment to try to start leveling some of that. My question was all the cardboard or all the material, and they didn't have an answer for me yet, but I hope they grind it and get it out of there. So, otherwise, staff did a real good job on painting on Friday. If you haven't noticed, the walls look great. It's way overdue, and they worked hard. Jessica?
Come on in. You can't get any quicker than that, right?
Sorry, I just figured it'd be easier, that way there it's for the public as well. The 59% for the town engineer contracted services primarily relates to the water line at Davis Street, that payment that was made, so.
That is all done now,
Awesome,
right?
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Apologize for the delay.
No problem.
That's it?
That's it?
Yep. We have a meeting on the 28th, don't forget that. It's a Monday with the school. I'll send you out reminders. We'll be talking about the Facilities Committee update on what their plans look like, along with talking about Siemens. The Siemens group will be here to talk about energy savings. That should be pretty informative. Hopefully, it will work for us. And on the 22nd, we have another workshop where we'll be talking about roads, the abandoned roads, and Ryan and I have been working on a road project to see how we're going to move forward to get some roads paved this coming year. So,
That'd be interesting.
won't it be? That's all I have. That'll be up to you.
Yeah, the wish list continues. All righty.
All right.
And that's it. Next item, Twyla.
Under appointments, Order 2013-163 to appoint wardens. That would be Sheila Gray in District 1 and Rick Roberts in District 2 for the November 5th, 2013 election.
There's only one, so basically these are would be the nominations, I would take it. So we can actually, do we need to make a vote on this, or is this actually, so pretty much there's one for each, so I'd entertain a motion to, in Ward 1, District 1, Sheila Gray, Ward in District 2, Richard Roberts.
I move that we appoint Warden Sheila Gray, as Warden Sheila Gray and Richard Roberts.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Order passed, 7-0.
Next item, please.
Counselor Communications.
All righty, open it up. Who wants to go first? No one looks really excited about speaking tonight.
Been a quiet month.
Even Dylan, I was just waiting, figured it'd be a given. No? Well,
Quite
we
a
know,
couple of weeks. This is a first.
but you know that we're in a lull before you get into the the budget season when everybody's just kind of like either reserving themselves or actually just kind of
We have a lot of
saving their
planning to
energy.
do.
Exactly.
Well, we did have that joint workshop with, well, it wasn't a joint workshop, but the workshop, the 196 updates and sort of the final draft of everything. That was really interesting, and quite a few counselors were there, and a good number of people. It was a little bit more lightly attended than some previous ones, but it was a nice one. I liked that we could see the big picture if we hadn't been able to go to individual workshops, and that went really well, and I thought that Amanda did a really good presentation for everybody. So.
Perfect. Nothing else? I'll just add a couple things. I did actually come to the town office on Friday and actually just to witness the painting crew, and it was definitely a painting crew. They actually had all the halls, cranking along, and it looks very nice out there. It's bright, and actually saved the town quite a bit of money, I think, and it seemed, as one person said, it was a good team building event. So it's always good to actually have stuff get improved and actually feel a little ownership of it. So I want to thank everybody that was participating in that, and hopefully it actually was rewarding to them as everybody else walking
Have a
through.
good time, so.
The other item I just wanted to touch base on is I attended the PLC meeting the other night, and Positive Change Lisbon, that's what it stands for. So just so people don't know, one of the things that as a community and as business owners and stuff, we are going to probably reach out to the town to actually come in and actually put on a question and answer form prior to the election on some of the upcoming water bonds and the mill bond, just to get some more information out there. I attended the meeting that night, and there was quite a few questions, and and felt that maybe it'd be good just to have, a setting for people to get more information they need to on the questions coming up. And one of the things that probably will be talked about also is just, not just the 196 master plan, but how it's implemented and how a town as a community can stand behind it. So, some really interesting stuff, so hopefully we can actually look forward to that and maybe get some more questions and answers out there and get some more feedback. But I don't have a whole lot besides that.
Did you have a date? Did you say there's a date for that already?
I don't, I think actually
I'll get it
Okay.
together this
Steve
week.
is working on that so we can do it. There is a limited time because the November is coming up quick, but I'm sure there'll be some time in the meantime that we can get together and get that plan, so. And that's it. No other communications? Seeing none, we'll move on. Twyla, next item.
There's no executive session, so you could adjourn to the workshop.
Entertain a motion to adjourn to go to workshop.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Quarter past, 7:00.
Thank you very much, and we'll be staying right here for the workshop. Perfect.
Amanda?
Did you want the
Yeah.
pig?
I don't think we need to,
All right.
unless you want to. I mean, it's
What,
up to
this?
us. Yeah.
No, we don't
No,
need to.
for the workshop. Yes.
This is what I just sectioned here.
I'd eat one.
Like fireballs, oh my God.